Hi everybody, Dale Wolfhart. I'm playing NASCAR Heat again. It's been quite a while. It's been a few weeks, I think. Maybe 2 weeks, has it been? Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks since the last episode, which was part 2 of the Xfinity regular season. We're halfway through the season. That's all I had for that. Yeah, we're about halfway through the season, so at this point now I'm just kind of choosing how many races I want to do for the remainder of this regular season. It's going to kind of be made up once I get to about 6 races in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So after Iowa is when I'm going to have to choose, okay, do I want to, how much farther do I want to go? Because that's halfway from here to the final race in the regular season, which is at Richmond. So our next race here is at Iowa, a track I have a decent bit of hope for. I think I can pull it off here at Iowa. But I'm also pretty rusty. I haven't played this game in a while, so it remains to be seen. Then at Chicagoland, which I don't have really high hopes for. Pocono, I don't have high hopes for. Indy, ooh, that's the road course. That's probably going to go very badly. I think that's the road course. It looks like it. Oh, maybe not. It's actually... no, it wouldn't be, because if 250 is regular for an Xfinity Series race, then yeah, no, it's not the case. Kentucky, not really. New Hampshire, I'm not really hopeful for. Iowa, so we might end up racing at Iowa twice. Getting 2 wins at Iowa, potentially. Depends on how this next race goes. But Road America, the Henry 180, that's a pretty convincing reason to continue on, because after Iowa is Road America, which is probably going to be a pretty good race. Then Watkins Glen. Dover's not quite as good. Daytona's not going to be probably very good. Darlington, probably not, and Richmond also probably not. So we've got mostly mediocre races, but there are a few races that could potentially end up being pretty good. So, who knows? Maybe I will continue on. Maybe I won't continue on. We're just going to get started at this next race here at none other than this track here. Iowa, the Circuit City 250, which I did not know Circuit City was still around, let alone sponsoring NASCAR races in the Midwest. That's not something I would have anticipated. So, anyway, let's get started here. Got a long road ahead of us to the end of the season. I want to get the season over with, but at the same time, I've had no real desire to actually race the majority of the season. So it's just been like, I want to get to the final, product, but I don't, because I want to get to Cup, obviously, but I got to get the Xfinity Series done first, and I'm only like halfway because I've been doing it so infrequently lately. So it's definitely going to be a hot minute before I actually get anywhere. Because we're only at part 2, it's probably going to need to be 3 to 4 parts, of the regular season before we actually finish. Before we actually finish the season off. I don't think I'm gonna cut it into parts. I think there's a lot of fucking races to do in one episode. But part 4, the playoffs with a few regular season races, the kind of pre-chase races. Because I don't actually know if I have a win yet. I'm not sure. I guess I probably should have checked that. But I'm not 100% sure that I actually have a win up to this point. Shit, I should have looked at that. That probably would have been some valuable information, if I can speak. But my confidence is up there for Iowa. Iowa's a track that was kind of a surprise to me when I first won it in my last I believe it was in my off-camera playthrough. before I started streaming. 20th. Alright, well that's not a good sign. Starting that fucking far back is not a good start. So we start 20th. The pole goes to Ryan Sieg. Which I guess is interesting. I'm not exactly sure how well he's been doing this season. I've kind of forgotten everything at this point. Alright. Iowa Speedway. Jeremy Clements is an ally of mine, I guess. Ryan Sieg is doing very well at this race. And Josh Williams missed the driver's meeting, so he starts at the back. I didn't even know that was a thing. Starting at the back because you missed a driver's meeting? I feel like missing a driver's meeting is already enough of a punishment, because then you aren't as clued in. I don't know, that's kind of an odd feeling there. Ow. That wasn't very nice. Still have a car on my inside, so I can't exactly swipe that inside just yet. There we go. That's better. That's much better. We've got a 10-lap race, which is not a whole lot for a short track, so that's okay. So I watched a couple of the last few races, both in Xfinity and Cup. I believe the first race I watched was Road America. I think I watched a race before that. No, I didn't. Okay, so I think Road America. Oh, I did watch Sonoma a while back. But of the last couple, I watched Road America, which I wasn't terribly impressed with. I mean, for one, none of the drivers I really cared about were up and running, which is important to the quality of a race through one's own eyes. Obviously, in order for a race to be good, it kind of needs to, you know, have drivers you want to win winning. I mean, it's like, how can, you know, a football game be good if your team isn't winning? Of course, they don't have to dominate the whole race, but, you know, at least be up front and contending is all you really need. But regardless, it was an race. Not a lot of it was pretty dry in terms of cautions. No real wrecks, which at a fucking road course is pretty surprising, especially a brand new road course. It seems Coda had much more of that. But then there was the issue of what am I talking about? So then I don't remember if there was a race in between Road America and Atlanta or not, but I'm pretty sure there wasn't. But there might have been. Atlanta was an okay race. I was very happy about Kurt Busch winning. He seems to get one win a year, so it's, you know, it was nice to watch the one, the more than likely only one that he's going to get this year. But it was cool. It was cool to watch. It was very cool to watch him beat Kyle Busch. I was pretty damn happy about that. So that's kind of what sells it all for me. But overall, it wasn't a terribly interesting race. But yesterday's race at, what was it? I already forget. At New Hampshire at Loudon was actually pretty good. There was some decent battles for the lead. Again, no real interesting cautions. Except for the very first one, which ended up being a red flag because of rain. But pretty much everyone in Joe Gibbs, except for Christopher Bell, spun out on like the 6th lap, and it was very fun to watch. But Eric Almirola won it, which, even though that's kind of that's definitely a surprise to be the first win for Stewart-Haas this season. It seems now that Tony Stewart has his foot in SRX, he's kind of just forgot about Stewart-Haas, although I'm not sure what Gene Haas is up to. Maybe he's focusing too much on Formula, I'm not sure. But it was a pretty fun race to watch. Alright, white flag here at Iowa. We've only made it up to fourth, so we're not getting a win here, unfortunately, but that's still a pretty good finish, and I think that will allow me to get momentum. And I'm going to get passed up, it looks like at the last second, by Brandon Jones here. So I'm going to place 5th instead of 4th at the very last second, but that is okay. Speed rating of 95, that's average, so nothing of real interest there. I have 3 wins. Okay, have there been 3 road courses thus far? And then there's 2 more on the schedule? Strange. I didn't check and see who won, but it's probably Ryan Sieg, honestly. But yeah, the races lately have been decently entertaining. Especially the Loudon race was surprisingly entertaining. Other than the 2-hour rain delay. But once that ended, it was, you know, it was pretty entertaining. A lot of back and forth. It wasn't a clear cut. And I will say, as a Kevin Harvick fan, even though he didn't win, that was a great race to watch because he fucking on the restarts. On every restart, you know, the entire pack would fumble behind him and he would just coast 2 seconds ahead. It was very cool. Didn't end up winning it, mostly because of the because of pitting. But Eric Almirola is a worthy replacement, I will say. Kevin Harvick just needs to get a win, man. It's been all season and he's done pretty much nothing. It's been a very career mediocre season. I mean, he's not even leading in points for non-locked-in drivers. I mean, what the hell? I don't really care about contract options. It's just gonna be, hey, you should sign with it. It's gonna be running Xfinity next season. When were my wins? Mid-Ohio. That makes sense. Talladega. Wow, I completely forgot about that. And Bristol. Alrighty then. Interesting. Okay. Well, now we move on to Chicagoland. Not a track I'm terribly excited about. Since I don't have momentum yet, intermediates are pretty much can just be written off. Bristol and Mid-Ohio were fairly expected. Talladega was excuse me, a total surprise. But, I don't expect anything to happen in Chicagoland. Ohio, man, Bristol easy. Bristol is easy. Bristol and Martinsville, I mean, for whatever reason, on the difficulty setting I have it on, short tracks and road courses are easy. Actual short tracks. Not like Phoenix. And even Richmond and Iowa are kind of toss-ups, but Bristol and Martinsville are fucking easy in just about every road course are easy. Hey, 4 viewers, that's new. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Hope you're having... Alright. So you're qualifying at Chicagoland. Like I said, my hopes are not terribly high for this race. I think we're just going to be dealing with just a plain old middle of the pack, maybe a top 10, hopefully a top 10, maybe a top 15, but I'm hoping for at least a top 10, seeing as that is on my contract for this week, or for the next, what, 4 races or so? So, you know, kind of need some good spots. Alright. Come around the corner. Begin the qualifying lap. What really fucking sucks, though, is that because of the Olympics, or at least I assume because of the Olympics, there will not be any more fucking NASCAR until August 8th. Which is a long-ass fucking time. I think that's like 2 or 3 weeks with no NASCAR.
Alright, that's our run. Back her down.
Ooh, wow. I got 10th. I thought I got the pole for a second, but no, I got 10th. That's better than I got at Iowa. Austin Cindric takes the pole. Yeah. In other NASCAR news, I guess I'll talk about some other things, because I don't actually know what's happened since the last time I recorded this. Jesse Little looks a bit slow today. CJ McLaughlin is also very slow today. And Josh Bilicki failed pre-race inspection. Dumbass. You can't fucking cheat in this sport, dummy.
We're going green. Ready.
What was I gonna say?
One inside.
I'm not sure. But, oh, I'm about to get spun. I am about to get spun. I need that guy out the fuck out of my way. So, I don't remember if I mentioned it on stream yet, but I'll mention it now. Brad Keselowski is moving to Roush. Brad Keselowski is not my favorite driver, but he is within my top 5 of current drivers. And once Harvick retires, shit, at this rate, probably at the end of the season, Keselowski will be in the running order for running favorite. But he moved to Roush Racing as an owner driver, which is pretty surprising, in the 6 car. So that means Ryan Newman is out of a ride. My assumption, obviously I don't know, and they haven't revealed what's going up with what's happening with Ryan Newman, but I'm going to assume that he's going to be retiring. Either he's going to be retiring, or he's just going to be moving. But I think with his lack of success lately, with his ride not being his next year, I don't, things are not looking great for him to stay, I will say. But Keselowski should be pretty interesting to see in that car. Keselowski's pretty much been in the 2-car, well, has been in the 2-car for almost his entire career, and just about all of his notable career. Won a championship in the car, and spent just a fuck ton of time with that 2 team. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see him in a different car, especially, I mean, it's still in a Ford at least, so, it's not like it's going to be totally weird, but it's still a bit weird. Replacing him, I don't actually remember who is replacing him at the moment. I think it was Austin Cindric, who happens to be, I believe, behind me there in that Moneyline car. Which is going to be a bit of an interesting replacement. I fucked up that turn royally. I lost like almost 3 spots on that fucking turn. That was miserable. But I believe it is Cindric, somebody who's like career Penske development driver up to this point. So it's not really much of a surprise. Again, I mean, he's got some pretty big shoes to fill. Keselowski's been a pretty consistent driver for quite a while. He's also a champion. Actually, everyone in a Penske 2 is a champion. Not all of them were champions with the Penske 2, but Rusty Wallace is a champion. Kurt Busch is a champion, although he did it with Roush. And Brad Keselowski is a champion. So, I don't think Cindric wants to be the one to break that rule, but break that pattern. But I don't really, I'm kind of concerned for the future wave of drivers, because other than fucking, like, only a very select few rookies in the last 5 years have done fucking anything. It took him a minute, but Chase Elliott, to no one's surprise, has been doing very well in the Cup Series. He's found his groove and has started to really get good. But other than that, like, recent rookies are mostly just round of 16 eliminations or missing the playoffs entirely. Well, we're going to get another top 5 here at Chicagoland. It's above the goal, so that's what counts. I did start 10th, but I only gained 5 spots. So I definitely could have done a bit more there, but oh well. Well, that's all there is. Alright, moved up to... Oh, we're still in 4th, never mind. But my hopes are not really high anymore for any driver coming up through the ranks. Just about every Xfinity driver that's moved on has seen no real success in the Cup Series. Most of them just get a big ride for a year and then get shafted to some middle of the pack backmarker team. Even if they did win, like Eric Jones, I mean, he won, but Gibbs was like, nah, fuck you, I want Christopher Bell. So. Alright, the next race in the Xfinity Series, Pocono, or as I used to say when I was a smaller child, Ponico. My hopes are not high for this. I did win at Talladega, which bodes well for Pocono. But with my recent race performance, it's kind of a toss-up. I guess we'll find out, but my hopes are not terribly high. I have low expectations for just about anything. It's not a short track or road course. But I just need to get that excuse me. I just need to get momentum. Once I get the little momentum, little speed boost, then I can start inching closer to the win at kind of more unusual tracks, like well, not more unusual tracks, but like, you know, regular tracks, the ones that fill out the majority of the schedule. All right.
Let's go.
God, I always have to change my camera and I always forget the button. Too many games have different camera changing buttons. Games need to start unifying their shit, alright? I mean, at least the triggers, you know, make a car go forward and make a car go back in every game. Well, actually, that's not true. Some games, they're driven by the joystick. So that's not even true. That's not even all the way unified. Any actual driving game does a trigger, but I think like Halo uses the sticks, and I don't remember if it's Warzone or Cold War that does it, but they have separate controls, which is fucking shitty. Alright, the goal is 55.904. Chances are if we get a 55, we're probably going to reach that goal. We did well at Talladega, although this is not quite the same. Even though it is a super speedway, the brake zones do make it a little bit different. The fact that you have to brake at all is pretty important in comparing the two tracks. This is such a nice car, though. Glad Junior Motorsports decided they wanted to partner with me for this race, or for this season, because that ended up being pretty convenient. I'm kind of worried about my Cup Series prospects, though. You know, I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be able to pull it off in the way I'd prefer. All right, we're definitely not going to get a 55. Not even close. 23rd, alright, well. I think I can anticipate about what I am to expect here. 5 viewers, that might be a concurrent record. I'm not sure if I've gotten any more than that at one point in time. So, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the stream. Alright. Pocono Raceway, the Tricky Triangle. Ross Chastain is your pole winner. That's pretty to be expected at this point. Ooh, that's an error on the screen. Jeff Green had an engine change after qualifying, so he starts to the back. And Ryan Sieg had an unapproved body modification during inspection or whatever it said. Ryan Sieg was the pole winner in the last race, so that's quite unfortunate for him, because that's going to put him way back compared to where he wants to be, or probably normally is. Got a lot of ground to make up. We need to make up at least like 12 spots before we can really get back into the swing of things. Oh, hi, man. Noah Gregson's car is the best car in the game. Changed my mind. Kevin Harvick's Busch Patriotic that I believe he ran at Indianapolis. That's definitely up there. And I will say Gregson's car looks better in person than it does in the game. They didn't really do the silver very well. It's more gray than anything else. But generally, yes, I agree. I'm very happy that Junior Motorsports decided to do that, because I don't think there would have been any other scheme in the Xfinity Series that I would have been quite as happy with getting. Daniel Hemrick's an interesting driver. From what it looks like from the last Xfinity Series race I watched, I don't even think he still has his ride at he doesn't even have his ride at Junior Motorsports anymore. I mean, JRM just completely, I mean, NASCAR completely shafted that guy. He got a ride with Richard Childress Racing, I believe it was in 2019. And then they just immediately threw him to the curb in favor after a pretty mediocre season, which is to be expected with Richard Childress at this point. RCR is not that good anymore. And Austin Dillon, to be fair, is just a permanent round of 16 elimination. He's not going to get any better. Maybe if he's really lucky, the round of 12. But that's only because of playoff points. But that would only be if he gets a win because of playoff points. Otherwise, I do not see him doing any better anytime soon. But Daniel Hemrick does pretty similarly, and RCR is just like, well, we want Tyler Reddick, who so far has been performing pretty damn similarly. Tyler Reddick has not done much of anything this season either. And also, I'm performing like absolute dog shit here at Pocono. I am not doing too hot at all. And then Daniel Hemrick goes to the Xfinity Series after getting thrown out of his ride in the Cup. And then Junior Motorsports is like, what if we don't? So doesn't even have a ride there anymore. It sucks to be him, man. Alright. White flag at the very tail end of the race. At this point, we just gotta kind of not fucking do that. Would be preferable. If we could avoid doing that, that would be nice. This is the bad turn. Thank you, car. Whoa, I was looking in my rear view instead of at the track in front of me. I way overturned that. Imagine not getting top 10, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. Pocono, like I said, super speedways, not my jive. I can't do well at super speedways. Despite my one stray win at Talladega that I still don't understand, super speedways are not my thing. I got a fucking speed rating of 90. That is dog shit. The car is way too tight. I think it was, actually. Now that you mention that, because yeah, I was oversteering for a bulk of that. Well, now I know what to do at Pocono next time, although I'm not actually sure where to edit my, thing. I don't know. I'll find it somewhere. Because I don't think I haven't done that in in career mode. I haven't adjusted my sliders or anything. I don't really know where to put them in what track. For the most part, I either run well or I don't. Would that help me sizably at intermediates? Like if I adjust to be, well, I don't know, somewhere else optimal, I guess. And I'm running 5th place in, like, say I'm running 5th at an intermediate, does adjusting my slider actually help me win instead of just, you know, being there? Alright, Anthony. That's why you were losing? Well, you know, that's why I was losing Pocono. And then we go back to back with Indianapolis. Fortunately, it's not the Roval. If it was the Roval, I'd be kind of pissed right now. But we've fallen back to 5th after that one because Chastain, I believe, got a win. Yeah, he got a win, so that puts him a little bit above me. Justin Allgaier's 3rd in the point standings, even though he doesn't have a win yet, so that's kind of curious. So how many races are there in this playoffs? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, I think. So I think that's the round of what? 12. I think it's 12, 8, 4, I think. So let's kind of look at the playoffs like that. So Bristol, that's an easy win. They'll carry me onto this one. Kansas, not likely. Texas, not likely. Martinsville is likely. So we have at least one likely win in all of the playoffs. In all rounds of the playoffs. Vegas, I don't have any expectations for. Charlotte Roval, I'm not looking forward to. Kansas, no. Texas, no. But Martinsville, yeah. Phoenix, probably not. So, next race here is at, like I said, Indianapolis. Well, let's see. I mean, you saw my running at Pocono was not particularly good. But I think it is super speedway. I assume that I'd probably run the same slider at Indy that I would at Pocono. Even though they are different tracks, the premise behind them is the same. Still a super speedway that you have to brake at. So I'm gonna try fucking with my sliders a bit and see if that aids me in my race here, because I actually haven't done that before, and that might be of use. Run practice first? I don't have time for that. You kidding me? I should, though. But I try to keep this live stream a little more fast-paced. Also, I'm not trying to win. I'm not trying to win at every track. That's kind of boring. You know, I try to make the wins a little more spread out. That's why I didn't just make it easy mode, but that's also why I didn't make it hard mode, because I needed there to be a few wins. I'm just gonna skip practice. Fuck it. But so I appreciate the guidance, but for the sake of a little bit of added entertainment, I will abstain. Then you can fix your wedge. Well, yeah, but gotta have a few bad runs. Oh shit. Alright. So, I do like Indy as a track. I mean, it's a fun track. But I guess after this qualifying lap is going to set the tone. If I qualify top 10, if I qualify top 5, that means I'm most likely going to win. If I qualify top 10, probably not. Qualify outside of the top 10, then it might not even be a top 10 that I end up getting. So I guess we'll just have to kind of wait and see here. Well, I entered the corner way too wide, so that's definitely not going to help. It is ill-advisable to enter the corner that fucking wide. Right? I do wish this game still had the feature to kind of show you how ahead or behind your lap time is, because like in the Technics games, it would show you that your lap time is kind of either ahead or behind. It'll kind of show you a positive or negative as you're running to just kind of let you know how your lap is going at that point. And that's very useful. Alright, yeah, not quite. Ouch. That is, I think that was like down. I think that's exactly where I started at Pocono as well. Starting on the outside a lot too. I'm not really happy about that either. Alright, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Vinny Miller is apparently very fast today. Joe Nemechek missed a driver's meeting. So he's starting at the back. And Chase Briscoe replaced his transmission. So he's also starting at the back. Alrighty then.
Be ready here.
Alright, boys. Off we go at IMS. Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I need that inside, Mr. Whataburger. Thank you. I didn't have to let off there. Not on the first lap.
Careful, still there.
Megan, Brown. I need fucking momentum, man.
Alright, you're clear.
I need there to be no super speedways for like 10 races so I can catch some momentum and then perform well again. Because that momentum just, I mean, it showed itself a lot in the Truck Series race, but in Truck Series episodes, holy shit, getting momentum just absolutely fucking, it's so OP. You wouldn't think a 10% speed boost would do all that much, but by God, does it. Alright, we're getting a little bit of a push here. Although this guy, Alfredo's gonna fucking cut in front of me, a little cunt. Even though he's an ally. Just because you're an ally doesn't mean you can't be a cunt.
Hold your line, driver.
Got past my, so I couldn't use him for a draft. I'd be able to use Ross Chastain though. Gotta get a push. I'm on the outside for this turn too, which I don't really like. Made a little bit of contact moments here. Oh shit. Alright, Chastain's gonna pass me too, so it seems like 6th is about like how fast my car is. I just can't really, I just have to run perfectly. I just have to run well. I just can't fuck up, and then I'll get 6th. But more than likely, no better than that. Especially if I keep fucking up the turns. I might be able to get a push from Sidwick. I'll go up. 5 down. Not quick enough. I fucked up that turn too. I didn't turn at the right time. Ooh. Yeah, I feel pretty tight at this track too. Holy shit, I am eating ass right now. I gotta fucking get my shit together. Oh boy. Alright. White flag, not green flag. It's always been green flag. White flag. I just need to pass Jeremy Clements. I think I've already lost my incentive at this point. I don't think there's any real making up for it I can do at this point. And Clements is putting up way too much of a fight right now. Dive to the bottom. Maybe.
Still there.
Maybe. As long as I can stay ahead of that guy.
Still there.
I think we're good.
Bottom looks good.
We're good. Alright, well, I'll make it to 10th, at least. Definitely could have done a little bit better than that, but speed rating of 91. Holy shit, I gotta get out of fucking super freeways, man. Get the hell out of here. We dropped down to 5th. Looks like Austin Cindric might have... No, I think it's just an Allgaier who just bumped ahead of me. Whoever it was, they bumped ahead of me. So, somehow with 4 wins, Ross Chastain is only in 4th. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Well, it was okay. Next race should be better. Alright. So, I managed to pull it off, just barely. Just barely. Next race, race number 18. So again, we go 3 top 10s. Kentucky. Not really looking forward to that one. I don't think Kentucky is going to be of much interest here. Yeah, not really looking forward to that, but whatever. Gotta run it. Kentucky is such a fucking forgettable track. I always forget it's there, and then I see it and I go, oh. Like, I just recently realized that Kentucky is actually a track. So, you know. Took me a minute, but here we are. I don't know, man. So, Kentucky's fun? Well, I mean, it's an intermediate. It's also got that shitty fucking yellow line that shoots up the track for no apparent reason. It's got green walls, though, which I guess is neat. I mean, it's not the only track that does it. It's not the only track to have a colored wall. But whatever. So, we've got ourselves an intermediate. Oh, I'm starting to run out of words to speak. This might be a sign that I need to finish up the next Iowa race. What else can I talk about in terms of NASCAR? So Kurt Busch, so Trackhouse acquired, what is it? Trackhouse acquired Chip Ganassi Racing, which is definitely an interesting move. But I mean, Daniel Suarez has been doing pretty decent recently, so that's, you know, it's all right. But talks, you know, it's kind of in the talks as to who's gonna get that ride, who's gonna get the second ride at Trackhouse.
All right, that's it.
All right. Wow. That's a lot worse than I had anticipated. Shit. Kentucky Speedway. Justin Haley is a good ally. Michael Annett is an ally. And Ray Black Jr. is starting to back because he is a dirty little cheater. Or at least his team is. But my bets for who's moving to Trackhouse is Chastain. Now, Kurt Busch's win last week is definitely kind of a small wrench in that bet, I guess. A little bit of a wrench in the works for that bet. But I still think that because he's younger, farther from retirement, you know, they'll probably think that they can build some potential out of him. Whereas Kurt Busch is probably going to be retiring by the end of the season unless he has a stellar season and somebody wants to hire him. Otherwise, I don't see him really going to Trackhouse unless they open up a third car. It could be a different driver entirely that ends up getting the ride. It could be that both Chip Ganassi drivers are just gone. In which case, I don't really know what the point of acquiring Ganassi would really be. But you know, we'll see. If Chastain does well, then that definitely bodes even higher for him. But Kurt Busch really needs to stick out his thumb if he wants to stay with Trackhouse next year. Because I believe he had already announced at one point that he was planning on retiring at the end of this year anyway, back in like 2019. Once he signed with Chip, he was like, alright, I'm only doing this for like, what was it, 3 years? So, I mean, we'll see, but at the moment, like I said, I'm willing to bet that he's probably not going to be sticking with them at the end of the season. Harrison Burton is replacing Matt DiBenedetto in the number 21 car. I think myself and a lot of others are pretty disappointed that Matt DiBenedetto just can't, that nobody wants to keep Matt DiBenedetto. Even though he hasn't seen really any success in the Cup Series, and he's been there for a while. I mean, I remember when he was back in the 83 car. Back in like 2015 or 16, but maybe 2014 or 15 rather. But it just kind of sucks to see him just constantly bouncing around teams because nobody wants to keep him. I'm surprised Wood Brothers thinks they're so good, so much, you know, too good for him. Seeing as Wood Brothers hasn't seen any success since. Hasn't seen any notoriety since fucking Trevor Bayne won the Daytona 500 and proceeded to do jack shit for the rest of his career. And it's not like, I mean, Ryan Blaney got a win, but that's about it. That's about all the team has fucking done since in the last few decades. So, or in the last decade, so I'm not exactly sure what the deal is there, but Harrison Burton, Jeff Burton's son, who's now in the booth, but used to drive the 31 car, most notably drove the 31 car for Childress Racing. I don't really see much happening with Harrison Burton. I mean, it's just another Xfinity Series driver that's going to be brought up, that's going to be pretty, quite the weak link. in its respective team. Alright, white flag in Kentucky. We've been kind of floating around 6th, although we've had to fight Brandon Jones a lot for 6th. So it's possible that if I don't stay on the ball, I might end up losing it to him. As you can see, oh shit. But when it comes down, I mean, he just, you know, it's just going to be another Cup Series Xfinity driver that's just not going to do anything. It's just going to be taking a high-profile ride and then just kind of sitting around with it. That's my guess. All right, 6th place, decent finish, average finish for a intermediate, but oh god damn, it puts me back on track for winning, or for getting momentum, and back on track for just doing well. So, not much I can really complain about here. Let us stretch. God damn. I'm tired today. Alright, so still 5th in points, which makes sense. So, let's see what race is next. What do we have next? To be fair, I'd like to be proven wrong that Harrison Burton, you know, is going to be good. But frankly, in the 21 car, I don't see anyone being any good. The 21 car hasn't been good since prior to the 4th generation of stock car. Actually, to be fair, I don't know how Ricky Rudd did in the 21, so I could be wrong. But it's all kind of irrelevant, honestly. Thank you, sir. Alright. Next on the docket, number 19. Ooh, Loudon. A race I just watched yesterday, which was a good race, as I mentioned before. So we're at race 19. We started at a race 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are... This is the halfway point. Alright, so after New Hampshire, I have to decide what I want to do. That's going to be part 4, because I'm yawning like a motherfucker. What the fuck did I just say? Okay. So, this is going to be the last race of the episode. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten a win. And then the race after that's at Iowa, which I'm not terribly excited for either. Judging from my last performance at Iowa, my expectations are you know, decently low. I don't know when the next good race is going to be. I guess that depends. I might just have to save the good races for one big episode. I mean, the third part's always it's Iowa's average, a better than normal intermediate, but a worse than normal short. I also didn't win my last Iowa race, so my hopes are not terribly high for my performance here.
Let's go.
But now we're at New Hampshire, which is a track that I like personally. My expectations are not terribly high. They're not really high anywhere, in all fairness, except for Bristol, Martinsville, and all of the road courses that aren't Rovals. But my expectations are pretty low here too, though. But we just watched it, so I think it's a good place to leave off on, because it was the race just prior. You know, so we get to kind of, in honor of a race that just happened, you know, finish off it. So I'm hoping for a good finish, for the sake of this is probably my last race of the day, or at least of this session. Ooh, okay. Not quite the goal. We almost hit the goal, so we start in 12th. The pole winner is Harrison Burton, the guy I was just talking about. I guess he's, you know, trying to prove a point now that I just talked about him. New Hampshire Motor Speedway, commonly referred to as Loudon. Tommy Joe Martins isn't nearly as fast as expected. Josh Bilicki failed pre-race inspection. And Jeremy Clements had an engine change. So, a lot of people doing pretty poorly today. So, shall we? Let's begin. I'm going to kind of dive under a little bit. Oh boy.
Careful, still there.
Oh boy. I'm looking forward to this race now. I thought I was, and it turns out whenever you feel slow as shit in corners in qualifying, you're going to be fast as fuck at corners in the actual race.
Stay low, stay low.
There's a bumpy ass corner.
Outside, outside.
I'm slow as shit in the straightaways, which is not going to bode very well for me. But goddamn, I mean, if I can.
Car high, careful.
Yeah, I haven't really found a way to be fast in the turns,
Clear high,
but
bud. Car outside. Hold your line. You got room. You're clear. Outside,
it's going
outside.
third for a little bit during the actual race. What I need to do is get up high enough as to where I kind of almost cut off a driver, and then maybe they'll push me to give me a little bit of a speed boost coming out of the corner.
Got a car low now. Clear low, bud.
He was running the fuck up on me. Did you see that in my rear view? He absolutely chased me the fuck down. Alright, going back to first person. It's where I wanna be. Yeah, look at that shit. I mean, they absolutely fucking run me down. Alright, I went way shallow. That is not good at all. It's not what we wanted to do. Oh shit, I gave up the spot.
Car high, careful.
Get the fuck out of my way, Brandon Jones.
Car down your outside.
This is exactly what Loudon looked like in real life too. It's just there's two cars way up at, there's two cars battling for first, and then every other car is a mile back. What was that? What the turn where I went way the fuck under? I don't know. If you're talking about something else, then I'm not sure what you're talking about. But if you're talking about that fucking miserable turn that I went 2 miles, 2 miles under the yellow, then yeah, I don't know what that was, man.
Car high, careful. Outside.
Alright, we're nearing the end
Alright, clear outside.
of the race here. Yeah, that, okay. That's what I thought, but
Car
yeah,
down
I
the
don't know.
inside.
I dove under, I dove in too early. If I could get, if the race was long enough for a caution, then I could have hoped for a caution and gotten a little, and kind of bunched the field back up, and I might have been able to get, I might have been able to pass those two cars up there, but I mean, this is exactly what racing a lot is like. It's just two cars way up in the front, everybody else pretty close. Holy shit, he got a run. Well, get a run. I don't know whether he had such fucking quick runs coming out of that damn turn. Fuck you. No way. Yeah, what the fuck is up with that? Why do they get such runs coming out of the fucking corners? I don't get it. Yep, and I was too fast going into that turn. so we're probably not going to be able to make much out of that. Bingo. Nope, that didn't work. Alright, well, I tried. I just need to block them so I can't lose more spots. 4th place. I was looking better until I got passed by Alfredo there. But I don't know. I tried, man. I tried. Harrison Burton did not end up winning though, so haha. That ended up being Chase Briscoe. We're now in 4th in the playoffs in the point standings. So we're getting there. So alright, well, I believe the next race is at Iowa, so we're gonna save that for the final regular season episode, episode 4. I could go for a little bit longer, but I think 60 minutes is a pretty good place to end off at. And that was one of the better runs that I've had thus far, so I mean, I'm definitely not disappointed in my performance there. I definitely could have done better, but a top 5 is by no means bad, and it still keeps me running in good playoff standings. So we're gonna start with race number 20 here at Iowa. In the next episode, we've got Iowa, and then Road America, which I'm looking forward to, as well as Watkins Glen. It's curious that they put them one after another. Then Dover, Daytona, Darlington, and finally Richmond. So, looking forward to Watkins Glen and Road America. Iowa's a toss-up. I've done good there in the past. I've done bad there. I've done bad there recently, so it's, you know, it's hard to tell at this point, but we're 4th in point standings behind Ross Chastain, Chase Briscoe, and Austin Cindric, so if the championship 4 were to happen right now, I would still be included, and that's what counts. So, other than that, that's all I've got for you at the moment. I plan on streaming a little bit more later today. Not sure what yet, maybe Minecraft. But I'm starting to kind of stagnate. I've got a little bit too far in Minecraft, and now I'm starting to get a little bit slow because I don't know what to do because I'm just gonna die. But whatever I choose to stream, I'll stream soon enough. So, yeah. Have a good one, everybody.